Okay, so welcome back. And then until the previous video, we were doing until the numbers division. And then so for this, because we will have two videos for this lesson, the network just suddenly cut. So this one, we'll be doing the division of polynomials for the unknowns basically. Of course, we just need to find the quotient and the remainder. So that means just the top thing and the bottom thing, quotient and the remainder. And we need to do the long division. So you'll have to be very careful when you're doing these questions because it requires a lot of patience and carefulness basically. So you think very slowly. X times what is 4x cubed? X times 4x squared. There's number 1 hidden. So 1 times 4 is 4 first. We already have 1x here. We just need 2 more x. So x times 4x squared, we can get 4x cubed, just like that. And because there's nothing else with this x, so no more things, we draw a line. And when you draw a line, there's always a hidden minus that you can choose to write or not write. It's also fine. And then we do calculation. 4 minus 4, done. Nothing is left here. And then is there anything at the bottom here? No, nothing. So you can basically just copy down everything. Okay, now we just basically repeat. Now this thing divided by x, that's what it means. X times what is 8x squared? X times, because there's hidden 1, so 1 times 8. 1 times 8 is 8. Okay, 8x. We already have 1x, we just need one more to make it 2. So x times 8x is 8x squared. Or if you want, you can just, like the previous one, we check first. X times 8x bracket or dot means times. There's no number, so 8, x times x, x squared. Yes, it is matching the one here, so you don't need to check every time if you get used to it. So x times 8x, we get 8x squared, and there's nothing left, so you draw a line again. Again, hidden minus, then you do continue again. 8 minus 8, done. How about this one? You still have it there. Then again, x times what is 6x? Number first, 1 times 6. There's already one x here. Do you need any other x? No, because we just needed 1 in the end. So x times 6. X times 6 or 6 times x is 6x. Nothing left. Draw the line. Just -3 is left. And -3 is smaller than this already. So that means the question is done. How do we know this -3 is smaller than that? Because this does not have any x. Or if it has any x, make sure that x has a lower power than this one. Then it will be fine as well. So that means this is done. After doing the long division, you can write your answers. Your quotient is 4x squared by x. Look. And then your remainder is -3, like that. Of course, this still looks complicated, so you can try to do next question on your own. It's normal to do it wrong the first time, so but still try, and then let's see where you get it wrong first. Oh, so continue. Next one. We have this long thing first, so you do that. Is divided by 6x squared. This one should be a little less steps because it already starts from square and then you just need to go to 4. So number first, 6. Okay, yes.
2x squared plus 3x plus 1 is the quotient.
Yep.
And then 1 is the remainder.
Hmm. One is the remainder. Yeah, so yeah. Okay, and you know this one as well. Let's do 15. This time we have more than one thing there. So you do the 15 and then we skip few questions. So we have plus minus something. So we have more than one thing. You need to do it one by one. That doesn't mean that x do the whole thing first and the negative one do the whole thing. We do each of the thing here with both of them first. So x times what is 2x cubed? X times 2x squared. Yay. So x times 2x squared is 2x cubed. We did like that. So x x times 2x squared, we get 2x cubed. But we can't leave this alone. So this also needs to be done with this one. So negative 1 times 2x squared. We get negative 2x squared. So what we did, the first one, x times 2x squared to match with this one, so 2x cubed. And then whatever you have on top, you also do with the remaining things. Even if it's 2 things, 3 things, 4 things, no matter how many things, you still need to do it. So negative 1 times this, we get negative 2x squared. And after both things are done, we draw the line. And then when you draw the line, there's always a hidden minus. So we have 2 minus 2 done. How about this one? Negative 15 minus negative 2. So you do it like that. Negative 15 minus negative 2. You got, that's why we did the earlier practice, because it's always related. So you will have negative 13x squared. And the rest of the things, no change, so just copy down. And then basically repeat. X times, what is this one? X times negative 13x. And so x times negative 13x, we have negative 13x squared. We can't leave this alone, so this also goes there. Negative 1 times negative 13x. Negative, negative, positive first. 1 times 13, 13, and there's an x. When both things, we draw a line with a hidden minus. The first part is usually 0, because if it's not 0, that means you did something wrong, or it will be wrong sometimes. So negative 13 minus negative 13. You do it. Negative 13 minus negative 13, you get 13 minus 13, 0. So you have nothing left. And then 3 minus 13x, 3x minus 13x, negative 10x. Oh, and then we do the same things again. X times what is negative 10x? Negative 10. So negative 10x. And of course, we can't leave this alone. So negative 1 times negative 10, negative, negative, positive. And after both of them is done, we draw the line. So negative 10 minus negative 10, we have 0. Then 24 minus positive 10, that means 24 minus 10, 14. So this is your quotient, this is your remainder. So basically, each time if you have more than one thing here, do the first thing with that first, match with that clearly, and then do the rest with them as well. So we had x times 2x squared to get this, and we could not leave this negative 1 alone, so we also do with that. After all the things from here are done with the one on top, you draw the line and then do the rest as the same thing. And of course, this is your quotient, this is your remainder. Okay. If this is fine, can you do 16? And then do 17, 18, 19 on your own later. So we just do 16. So the first one first. The 1 here, 1 times कितना -3. So 1 times -3x squared. We just have one single x here. You need to make it as cube. So x times -3x squared, we get -3x cubed. And then, of course, we can't leave this 2 alone, so this 2 also. 2 times -3, -2, -6x squared. Yeah. Actually, you will know if you're doing it correctly or not, because all the x cube are in this line, all the x squares in this line, and so on. And even when you write it on top, make sure you follow the order. If you need to make it as square, so you go to the square line only. After both of them is done, you do line with the hidden minus.
Miss, how did we get -6?
Because do you get this part?
Yeah.
Okay, then we can't leave this 2 alone. So 2 times -3, -6, and then there's an x squared.
Okay.
And then after both of them is done, you draw the line. So -3 minus -3. So nothing left. -5 minus -6. We just have x squared left. The rest of the things just copy down. And then repeat the steps. X times what is x squared? It's just single x. So plus x. X times x is x squared. And then we can't leave this 2 alone. So you do it together. 2 times x, 2x. And after both of the things there are done, you need to draw a line with a hidden minus. So x squared minus x squared, nothing left. This one, negative 4x minus positive 2, you get negative 6x. So continue. X times what is negative 6x? X times negative 6. So x times negative 6 is negative 6x. We can't leave this 2 alone, so you do 2 as well. 2 times negative 6, we get negative 12. We have the hidden minus, of course. So negative 6 minus negative 6, you cancel out. And 36 minus negative 12. Okay, now this thing has no more x, it's less than that, so that means this is already correct. I'll give you 1 minute to digest first.
Okay.
Oh, and then 17, 18, 19, you do on your own also until 21. Okay. I'll also send you the answer so you can check. Oh, this one. You need to find the polynomial itself. You need to find the fx. What does that mean? So if you remember, let's say 7 divided by 3, we got 3 times 2 plus 1. You need to find all these things. You need to find that 7. That is what we call the things inside. Inside is the polynomial dividend. You need to find that. You're given all the other things. So you're given this thing and you need to go back to that. So let's see what do we have it here. In this question, this fx is divided by 4x squared. Fx is divided by 4x squared means 7 is divided by 3. 7 divided by 3. So that 3 is this fx squared. So fx squared is the divisor. We are also given the quotient and also the remainder. Then you need to find that 7. You need to find that polynomial fx itself. So how do we write it? Fx equals to your divisor, whatever is divided by, times the quotient plus the remainder. Now, do we know our divisor? Yes, it's 4x squared. Do we know our quotient? Yes, it's more than one thing, so remember to put a bracket. Do we know our remainder? Also, yes. Okay, now of course this is correct, like we have this part, but since it's all unknowns, you need to expand it first. How do we expand it then? Times basically means the brackets, and since you already have a bracket there, so you don't really need to write it there. So you just move it there. And then you need to open up. How do we open up the bracket? That's the first practice we did. So open up the moon method and then see what you get. 12x4 minus 4x cubed plus 4x squared. And then the thing at the back, we have a plus. So you also gave the plus to everything inside. No change. Okay, so this goes to all the three things inside first. Done. And then this one also. And afterwards, just compare. Oh, there's nothing to compare in this one. 2, 3, yeah. Usually there is, like you need to see if there's any other x4, you combine it, any other x cube, you also combine it, and so on. But this time they're all already in order. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Power 4, 3, 2. No power means hidden single, and this one is 0. Actually, if you click calculator, anything to the power of 0 is always 1. So if we have x to the power of 0, it means 1. So that's why we don't need to write it. All right, so the first one, of course, is always the easier version. Can you do this one? Is divided by something, so you have your divisor, you have your quotient, you also have your remainder. When you have all the three things, whenever you have all the three things, you can find your fx immediately. Even if the question don't ask you to find the fx, but you are given all the three things, you need to find it. It will be some use later on. Because part A of the question usually just asks you to find the fx. But part B, they may ask you a few more things. So it's better to find it first. Sometimes they just skip the part A. They won't mention to find the fx, and but you still need to do the part to do the other parts. How you try to do the question 23? Mm, yes.
I got negative 12x cubed minus 18x squared minus 6x plus 8.
Yeah. See. 11 plus 2. आपका आखिरी वाला क्या है?
8.
8 तो नहीं है. Because it's 11 and negative 1, so 11 other and then plus 2. It should be 13 in the end.
Oh.
Back is right. Oh, same. Oh, next one. Can you think about it a little bit? So you're given the fx already. So you're given that 7 already. But this time you don't know the middle thing. Because divided by something. We don't know this thing. And then we are given the quotient as well. We are also given the remainder. How do I find this thing then? That's what you have to do now. We know that this whole thing dividend G toilet then Continue. So this time you're given that long dividend. You don't have your divisor, you have your quotient, you also have the remainders. So what can we do? There's few methods. Okay. So for example, if it was normal calculation where like 7 equals to 5a plus 2. How do you do this one? How do I find this a? Okay, so this one. Like this one, if it was this, how would you do it? Remove the 2 to the other side first. And then see if anything from there can be calculated it. 7 minus 2, 5. And then 5 also is multiplied here, so you also divide to the other side, and you can get that. Same goes here. Imagine this quotient is that 5, and this is the unknown because you need to find this thing. So let it be a. That's your 2, and that's your 7. So our first goal is to move this to the other side. So that whole thing and this whole thing. Move this to the other side and see what do you get. It's a plus 25 here, so goes to the other side. You can get because my pencil knee light, so that's why my writing is super ugly. Minus 25. And what is left? We don't know that thing times that. And then here, numbers, calculate आपस में. So 31 minus 25, you can get that as 6. And the next step, this 6x minus 3 is multiplied with this thing that you need to find. Oh, you can let that be px actually. Yeah, because that's how we write it. Fx equals to p. Oh, wait. They already give you the name of it, fx. If they give you the name as fx, you also write fx. It depends on the question. They like tricking students. That's why they are using fx here. Whereas usually there's long things for fx. Okay, so this thing here is multiplied. If it goes to the other side, it will be divided. And then what does it mean by divided? That means this long thing divides this. And then that's how you will get your answer. So how do I do the division? Can I just do this, simplify this? Not really, because you also have a -3 there. So you do the long division now. 18x cubed. So this thing divided by this. So that thing divided by this. You will find the things on top. But of course, in this question, you should not have any remainder now because there's nothing to be added here. So if you find remainder now, that means you did something wrong as well. So you quickly do the question and see what you get. Because they are same, so nothing to do. So you start from here. 6 times what is negative 12x? 6 times negative 2. Done. And there's nothing in the middle you don't need to do as well. This whole thing is the fx already.
So that's it? Like the...
Oh. So same for the next thing. You again need to see, this is your long thing. is divided by something. So whatever is divided by, just that thing is that. And then you're given quotient, remainder, and everything else. So first of all, because remainder is usually a plus, so you move it to the other side first, and then you can find the rest. And then this thing will be divided. So move the remainder to the other side first, simplify the things, and then divide the quotient. So try to do 25 and see if you get it. So that long thing. And then the remainder goes to the other side first. Because there's a bracket, you open up first and then goes to the other side. So you'll get the whole thing as after a little bit of calculation, you get that.
I got fx equals 5x cubed minus 1.
Nope, because you already have a 5 here, so 5 times what will be 5? It's just 1.
Oh,
Because now this thing will be divided by that. But when you do the long division, make sure everything is there. So you have power 4, you have power 3. Do we have power 2? No, so you add it on your own with a 0 and divide it by this. So this one first, negative 5x. Do you get this part? The remainder goes to that side. Because it's negative 5x here, goes there, will be plus 5x. Positive 31 here, goes there, will be negative 31. So 25 minus 31. Yeah. Oh, this one first. Negative 5x times what will be negative 5x cubed? 4 times 1. because it already has -5, both of them. So x is single here, you just need 4 more. When you're done with this, -5x times x cubed is -5x4. You can't leave that 6 alone. We do the same, 6 times x cubed, 6x cubed. Now, since they both are totally the same, they are same, nothing to do. 0 is also nothing to do. So you start from here. You're just left with 5x minus 6. Then you do again. -5x times what is 5x? Because it's a negative here, so negative becomes positive. So you'll have -1. You can try to do it separately. -5x. So 5x. -5x times -1, you get 5x. You can't leave the 6 alone, so 6 times -1 as well. So if you have any remainder in the end, that means you did something wrong. You should not have a remainder if you're finding something on the other side.
So I'm gonna write it as fx equals x3 minus 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, then try to do next. Oblique questions, they will all be a little bit tricky now because it's starting to get harder and harder. But of course, that's how we usually learn.
So we'll need to have one more class to complete other
Polynomials, yes.
Okay.
No. So you want to continue now? Let's finish this question then.
Okay.
Hold up. You think. Okay. So we have the long thing is divided by that. So you can try to do a long division. You'll get the answers as well because there's no unknowns here. So you can do long division directly. 3, but remember to write everything in order. X. Okay, so you do that first. 3x squared times kitna ye hoga? There's one more x, so let's do a little quicker. And then you also have these things. These things you also need to do it. 6x times x, you get 6x squared. And then this one last one, 5 times x, you get 5x. And after all thing is done, draw the line. Okay, after all the three things are done with that, after all three things are done, you draw the line with the hidden minus. 3 minus 3, you get 0. And then 9 minus 6, 3x squared. -2 minus +5, you get -7. And then the rest just copy down. Nothing on that. Basically, it's a 0. So 0 doesn't affect. And then do the same thing again. 3x squared times kitna ye hoga? Plus 1, because no change. And the rest, just do it. 6x times 1, 6x, 5 times 1, 5. Hidden minus 3 minus 3, done. Negative 7 minus 6, negative 13x. Negative 9 minus 5, negative 14. So yes, our remainder is this, correct? And then how about our quotient? The quotient is x plus 1. So if they say the quotient is x minus k, how do we write? Basically, x minus k is equal to that x plus 1. And then they both have x cancelled out. So negative k equals to 1. So you put the negative on the other side, k is negative 1. So we could do this method because there was no unknowns there. That long thing divided by this thing. So you can do the simple long division and then find the quotient and the remainder. But sometimes maybe in future you will have unknowns here or here. Then you can't do this method. And that method we will start with from next lesson. Okay, so until 26, make sure you finish all the questions.
Okay.
Yeah. Out. Any more questions?
No.
Oh, then till next time, we finish 26. So see you.
See you. Bye-bye.
So until next time, we will do the identity method for the next lesson, and also the remainder theorem and the factor theorem. And then we also have the DSE questions to do. So basically, we will be needing 2 more lessons at least for more about polynomials, because it is a very big topic actually. All right. So till next time, see you. Tada, bye bye. Allah Hafiz. Allah Hafiz. Allah Hafiz. Allah Hafiz. Allah Hafiz. Allah Hafiz.